Hi, I'm Tony Bowen and welcome to my Corn Country Rails. Well, in this video you are going to see kind of an overview of the home layouts that were offered during the N-Scale convention. And so what I've done is I've taken the layouts that were open on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and I've put them all on one video. Myself, I had signed up for the Wednesday AM layout tours, and then Friday afternoon, and then Saturday morning during the N-Scale convention. So I hope you enjoy some of these home layout tours. These will not be layouts that were at the train show. I will cover that in another upcoming video. These are just the ones that were offered during the home layout tour. So enjoy. It was the official first day of the convention, and I was ready to hit the ground running. We had several layouts on Wednesday, June 13th to hit, and our first one was a large Southern Pacific layout. Now, I don't remember the exact locations of what the modeler was incorporating in his layout, but it was pretty much prototypical, going all the way from the ports in California to inland California, and basically everything Southern Pacific. And so it was in a rather large garage. I'm going to guess it was probably a 30 by 40 at least. And it was going to be on two different levels. And here you see the top level, and it's still in kind of the working stages. If I understood the owner correctly, he says he had been working on this layout for 18 years and had just recently retired, and now that was what he was spending his time doing. There were areas on the layout where actually the floor, you'd go underneath the layout, but there was also areas of the layout that you would climb up steps, and when that second level would get done, you would be right at that eye level with it. It seemed very odd when you have HO trains that are like right at your feet level, but he had a lot of distance between the two decks, and so you can see people walking around. When this thing gets completed, it is going to be one heck of a layout to see. And so there were even steps to get up to the helix that would take trains to that next level. And that next level right now is kind of a big reversing loop, but he has plans to obviously expand that second level and that deck of that layout in the future. What's that? No. No, we did not.
Any questions?
Not so far.
the original layout started in the house. And so I believe this gentleman was a bachelor, and so what would be a dining room or living room was basically taken up by the original layout that then was pushed out into a garage that he built, but then even into a family rec room where he's got a pool table and kind of a sitting room, library with books and that, for the kind of the terminus of the port area of his layout. So this layout just continued to sprawl out all over this home. It was pretty incredible. Now the question was, as we got ready to go to our next layout, was could the bus make it out of this gentleman's driveway? It was so muddy in that, but we made it out, and our next layout was a Denver and Rio Grande layout. Beautiful work area as you came into the train room, and just a nicely done HO layout. And with Jennifer and I taking the California Zephyr out, seeing things like the Moffett Tunnel portal, seeing things like Denver's Union Station that he had modeled, and then just looking at the landscape, it was pretty much like, hey, we had just traveled on Amtrak to go to the convention over some of these areas that this gentleman had modeled so well.
This is me.
Very nice. Very creative.
Yeah. Pick up the phone and hear somebody talking. So the problem with that is,
Thank you.
I have a friend that's
Yeah, we're gonna go
You're not very often.
On both sides.
Rocks like you were telling me earlier with the paint and, the chalk and the paint.
Could be, could have been, or it could be just regular paint, I don't know. Or an asphalt.
Probably something to do, it's pretty darn complete.
The next layout we visited was also a Rio Grande and Colorado Southern. The Rio Grande portion was an HO layout. The Colorado Southern was HON3. And if I understood them correctly, the HO layout had been either in a previous location or home and had been moved in. And the layout itself has shown some age in that, but the owners were promoting their YouTube channel as they're kind of rehabbing and rehabilitating this layout, and kind of tying it in with its Colorado Southern, which is kind of on the outer walls in this layout room. And once again, this layout room is basically a 3-stall garage with a set of staircase kind of in the middle of the room that goes up to kind of a loft area for extra storage in that. What's unique about this is when I take some photos from the outside of the building that houses this layout, because it was very interesting to me. And if you would like to see more of this layout and kind of what they're doing with it, here is their YouTube channel, Nearly Historic Railroad, or NHRailroad.com.
Because we didn't want to see the thing get destroyed, I had nowhere to put it, George had nowhere to put it, so luckily.
So at this layout, they also had a garage sale of somebody who was getting out of N scale. And so I was able to pick up some figures, some horses and cows, and just like a garage sale, great prices, and I was able to go home with stuff. On the outside, these 3 little buildings in the back, that's their sheds. They gave them these false fronts to kind of look like a western town, but inside is like their lawnmowers and all the things we would use in a shed. Here's the 3-stall garage, and only one of the stalls was actually used to store a car in. So pretty neat backyard. On Friday afternoon, June 15th, I signed up for the afternoon layout tours after the Swaparama. Here's our bus captain. Boy, he was a real card, let me tell you. No, actually, he's a good friend of mine. And so our first layout we went to see was the Malfunction Junction G-scale layout. And this layout may not be everybody's cup of tea, but you can definitely tell the owners have had a lot of fun with it, with their creativity in that. And so my guess is this is a layout that is probably a big hit with the kids. But even for big kids like myself, it was fun to watch. The next layout we went to was also a G-scale layout, but this gentleman had actually two layouts he was building. He had a G-scale layout that was pretty much done in his basement, and then on the other side of his basement he had an O-scale track that he was using, but he was scaling down and kind of making it like GN3, I guess you would call it, narrow gauge G scale, but running on O scale track. And so both concepts were very well executed. The next layout was a very nicely done Western Pacific with also a Colorado Southern narrow gauge incorporated in the layout. No, you're fine. You're fine. It's amazing what I can edit out.
Your voice is always on the video, Chris, though. You must forget that you're dead air. Double laugh sometimes.
Oh, it's coming from this way. This gentleman made great use of his space. When I walked into his adjacent room, I was like, wow, you know, he's got a roundhouse here, and look at this expansive yard and that. Until I realized, wait a second, the yard doesn't go that far. That's just a big mirror because I can also see myself in it when I was filming. But it sure gave a great illusion of a large yard. Then after leaving that small utility room, there's another doorway, and it kind of goes right into the helix for part of the layout, up to an upper deck with a logging area of both some narrow gauge and also standard gauge. But he also has a loop of kind of hidden staging in there, because I believe I see the California Zephyr Western Pacific section on a kind of a hidden return loop as well. So just really neat how he incorporated stuff in his layout.
I've seen stuff like
Jeez. What a seal. You're not, man, I cannot believe how much those cars went for.
No, I'm just talking about just the decals.
Wow.
Uh-oh, feels good.
Yep.
Oh, no, take that back, take that back. And he was unanimous. Sorry. A couple of them.
The last layout we saw that day was an HO Burlington Northern layout. It had a staging area that was in a garage that then kind of fed into a rec room in the family's basement.
This one seems to be better secured. Was the other one dispatched? So yeah, it has singular sign.
Probably ran into something by accident. Clearly you've got Washington inspiration here.
Like in southern Washington.
Yeah, most of these, although I think Pasco was up a little ways.
Longview, Vanview, right?
What?
Longview, Vanview.
Of course, it's fairly decent size. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was real wild when I first put the whole thing in the rear wheel, but it didn't impact the cars at all.
No, sure.
And I have a fire hose that cut the holes in it, just about a half brass or whatever. I didn't really have a problem.
I'm giggling at the random kid proof stage you go to the back. You can play with the ones at this side, not the ones. Oh, I saw fun.
Tarantulas off?
I took the disc up here.
Can you put A on an N, push the N up? There we go. Yeah, here.
Okay, we were fine this morning. I don't know what happened. I forgot. I just happened to look up and see the bus come, so I think we got to check it in.
Yeah.
Four or five departments on the bus.
Go and have Cindy after the breakfast and then just get rid of it.
What time is your?
Track it doesn't have the back.
No, actually, there's two of them on that long peninsula on that side. One right where the gentleman with the camera is standing. Oh, no. This hasn't happened.
On Saturday morning, there were a few conflicts and a few layouts had to back out. And so there was only one layout available that was 35 minutes away. The gentleman lives in an apartment, and his layout is in a one-stall garage right off of his kitchen, and he just did a really nice job of utilizing his space. Now, the one thing I thought was interesting is he models the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. I didn't know I had to go all the way to Nevada to see things I'm already modeling at home. But to be quite honest, it was really nicely done, and I'm glad I went. It was a really neat little point-to-point switching layout, and the guy did a fabulous job.
Can we duck under and get in the area you're in? As is all.
Very nicely done.
Oh, wow, that's heavy. Thank you.
What's that?
Every Friday, fish fry.
I thought this is Walter's mat, and I am so glad that they did this.
Walter's mat?
Yeah, it's a mat. It's a mat, and it makes the grass in Illinois. I mean, I'm gonna do grass that looks convincing, and I found this, and this is like something else.
I think it's made from possibly kiwi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I should say
And, you know, they got different, I mean, they got, you know.
Thank you for watching. My next video that I will release will be on the Virginia Truckee train ride that we took on Thursday, June 16th. Thanks for watching.